It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. I'm joined this week by Warren, Charlotte, and Matt. We aren't at the Denby again, but we are invoking the spirit of the Denby, and we've got a few Underberg ultras with us. I'll get started straight away because we've got loads of questions in here. As everyone knows, Mailbag is the #1 podcast for. Matt has got the Underberg. Look at that. Have you got a
vintage Underberg? No, this came off my nan's shelf. I think this is from like the 90s or something.
Vintage Underberg.
Yeah, that would be cemented nicely. That
I reckon save that for a special weekend game when I'm there.
I'm never touching that.
Or Everton's next trophy in another 10,000 days, apparently.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how we wouldn't have even known that if not for the lovable Reds?
I know, that was nice of them, wasn't it?
It was. Genuinely obsessed. Weirdos.
What, 10,000 days?
Apparently it's been 10,000 days.
It's 2003 now, isn't it?
Well, it's disputed in a question on here, and I think they're right. Yeah, so we'll get straight into it. As everyone knows, Mailbag is the #1 Everton podcast, the Red Hot Everton Chat. So first question, best Monster Munch flavour, Warren?
Flaming hot's got to be. I think I am prone to a bit of beef, the beef flavoured ones, but I think flaming hot definitely for me.
And a big grab bag.
Do you know what? Yeah. But you know when you buy the multi-packs and you've got pickles, onion, and then beef and the flaming hot, like I'll always save the flaming hot till last because I want to have the best at last. You know what I mean? So I do that. But I do Monster Munch are great, Chris.
3 impeccable flavours, to be fair.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, Char, what are you?
I'm a flaming hot as well, but roast beef are always left in those multi-pack until one of my cousins comes round and nabs them all, so I just save them for her.
Roast beef are decent on some.
I think they're vile. They're disgusting. Do you remember the old flavour they did before they changed the flaming hot? This was like 20 years ago.
That's spaghetti flavour once.
Yeah, they used to have a different flavour and then they changed it to then they changed it to roast beef, and it's vile now.
I used to have roast beef years ago when I was a kid, when I always thought they were bigger, but I think my hands were just smaller. That's what it was.
Do you think they're hands or little monsters?
See, I always thought they were like mad hands and feet. But when you say little monsters, they could be, couldn't they?
Yeah, the hands and feet I'm going for.
Yeah. Matt, where do you stand on this?
I'm afraid I'm also flaming hot. But if you want a good entertaining time, give a flaming hot crisp to a dog. They'll have a sniff, they'll have a lick, and then Patch, God rest them, sniffed it, licked it, and then just jumped back and just started barking at it. And then he just kept going back to it, just giving it a little.
It's good social experiment to do, I think.
I like the fact that it saw the Monster Munch as a threat. Yeah, I'm going to go pick up onion because no one else has.
Good flavour. I mean, they're just solid flavours.
Well, it is, yeah. And as I said, if you put any of them on a butty, it's good.
I was just about to say, Monster Munch butties are the one. Good crunch.
Yeah, proper fresh white bread. Proper filth. Yeah. Lovely stuff. IJ's also said, also invented a new Monster Munch flavour. Brandy flavour's not allowed, apparently. Matt, I don't know why brandy isn't allowed, but I reckon that would be IJ's.
Brandy what?
Monster Munch.
Brandy flavour Monster Munch is not allowed, apparently. What flavour are you going for, Matthew?
What, like making one up?
Yeah, if you could invent one.
Ooh. Probably just the same flavour as Skips, but on a Monster Munch. But the exact same flavour.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Prawn. Oh,
Skips flavour. Yeah.
So it's prawn cocktail then?
No Skips flavour though.
A very specific Skips flavour. Yeah.
See, you can see why people listen to this. It's all the important stuff in it. Warren, what flavour are you inventing?
Worcester sauce flavoured Monster Munch for me.
Underrated flavour for Christmas.
Well, I haven't seen them for ages. Worcester sauce flavoured crisps, and Walkers are the only ones that do them. So I would have Worcester sauce Monster Munch. I think they'd be unreal.
That's a shout. Charlotte?
Sweet chili, like the Sensations ones.
Good shout.
Or like a little roast duck number or something. I don't know, Chinese flavoured.
Sweet and sour. What's it?
Pork
salt and pepper Monster Munch. Now we're talking.
That'd do nicely. The Scouse is
Or those sensations which you don't do no more, which were like spare rib.
Oh my God, they still do in the Tesco's. They still have them in the big
Which one?
Tesco's. The big
Which one?
ones.
Which one?
The one by mine, by
You're going off
I
the
like
one by
Allen Way.
Sandra.
I'll have a little route for you this weekend if I can bring some in for you.
I've literally been around about 20 supermarkets in Merseyside reporting back to Keith at everyone, and I couldn't find them anywhere.
Well, last time I went in the big Tesco by mine, they had them.
There you go, Matt. Get on it. Got an Everton question from Jonathan. What Everton player, current or former, would be the best and worst prime ministers? So obviously Tom Davis is going to be the best.
Obviously.
That's like, goes without saying, I think. Any advance on Tom for the best prime minister?
Manager-wise, I know it was player, but manager-wise, Martinez would be good because the political spin would be incredible. You just think everything was always great, wouldn't you, in the country? So he'd be a good one. Player-wise, best prime minister, past or present. I mean, you tend to want to go down the 80s player route because of how all our 80s players have come out very politically aligned with ourselves. So you tend to go down there, but just for all out like shits and giggles, Royston Drenthe would be a blinder, wouldn't he?
Just legalise everything.
Yeah. Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Worst one. Worst one.
Frank Lampard.
Kevin Morales, be awful, be dreadful.
Oh yeah, the Belgian beagle.
Not just wouldn't promise so much, but would offer nothing. Pretty much like the current government we've got.
There you go. I'm liking this political commentary. Loads of people won't. So we just flag off the Tories for a little bit.
Yeah. Don't do politics on Mailbag. It's not allowed. Don't do politics.
We don't do
politics and sport. Don't mix. Despite it definitely mixing.
Matt sat there in his Unite t-shirt. What are you going with?
I mean, the obvious answer for best is like Peter Reid, isn't it? But I do like the wildcard shout of Drenthe. I reckon Duncan Ferguson as well, because he wouldn't be one of those ones who dominates everything. Thinks he'd just be the figurehead and he'd assemble a good team around him, mainly because he probably wouldn't want to do the work. In terms of the worst, I think the obvious answer is the big baldy fascist Cenk Tosun.
What a shout that is. Yeah, I reckon I can't see much past that, to be honest. How many Brazil players like into Bolsonaro as well? How weird was that?
None of ours,
no. Across the bar, though. Fascist in goal. Charlotte, who are you going for?
Obvious answer would be Tom, wouldn't it? And then the one that Koeman would be an awful prime minister.
Ooh.
That's a shout.
Yeah, I think he'd be terrible. Well, he'd be good for him, just shit for everybody else.
Mike Walker would be decent, Safe pair of hands, like.
Very safe.
Lulu's asked, if you had the chance to name a new stadium, what would it be? I'm going with that Strip TV or whatever was mooted in the week. Imagine that. Half-time grot. Count me in. Go on. Warren?
The new Goodison Park. I know it's boring, but forever in our hearts, Goodison Park. I don't want to leave. I want to stay there forever. I want to stay mid-table obscurity forever because I can go to Goodison all the time. So yeah, the new Goodison.
I mean, whatever it gets called, it's going to be called Bramley Moor anyway, isn't it?
So I'm just really fearful that we're going to end up calling it after some airline or after some North American company or something, which I really don't. Just leave it be Bramley Moor because that's where it is. That's what it is.
The thing is, as well, the first one you've got to get it right because everyone will call it that forever. So Bolton's ground's always going to be the Reebok. Is it the Macron now or something? Or it was.
I think it's the University of Bolton Stadium now.
Okay, yeah, it'll always be the Reebok, and the Echo Arena will always be the Echo, even though it's the Bank Arena. So that first one, you've got to get it right. As I said, Strip Club TV, it will always be. Oh, Warren, you're frozen there. You back? You look very concerned.
I think he said the Underberg Arena.
Arena, yes.
I just got the and I've extrapolated from there.
Go ahead then, Matt. What are you going with?
I've been thinking about this a lot, because you're right. You do have to get it right. I am hopeful that we'll be so belligerent that we'll just forego any naming rights as fans and just call it what it's called, because it will need an official name for like UEFA purposes.
Yeah.
You've got like Bramley Moor Dock, Bramley Moor Stadium, Goodison Dock is an option. But I think if we really want to boil piss, we've got to call it the Merseyside Stadium.
Oh God, yeah.
Just call it, because it's literally on the side of the Merseyside Stadium.
Cracking views of the Oblong as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think I am worried about the first naming rights though, because like our mates on the insides give nothing away, but we are talking to companies apparently already, and I don't know. It can't be something shit. It can't be something obscure either, to be honest. I don't want it to be like, the Bet 888 Arena or something
Oh God, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Surely can't be, can it?
Well, I don't know if anyone can balls it up. It's Everton. Charlotte, what
We'll
you
just
going
call
with?
it Scallions. Scallions
I was
Arena.
just about to say that's the best name, innit? The Scallions. It's got to be that.
I think everyone's just going to call it the Bramley Moor Dock no matter what, isn't it? So unless we do something like Camp Nou, where they do Spotify Camp Nou and then do something like whatever Bet 66 Bramley Moor Dock, I feel like that's something we'll end up doing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so we'll have the Bramley Moor anyway. Anyone know anything about your man Bramley Moor? Was he all right or?
No, I think he was a racist, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm sure he's something to do with the slave trade, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I suppose anyone with anything named after them from that period is going to be a bastard, aren't they?
Mm.
Fuck them then. Let's call it the Bet Arena or whatever.
We'll call it the William Roscoe Stadium to try and diffuse all that.
Go for that. That'll do for me. Or the Goodview Birkenhead Stadium. That'll do. Dan Baines asked if you had to have someone else's tattoo. Start again. If you had to have someone else's face tattooed on your face, who would it be, Charlotte?
Oh, someone fit. I'll go Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That'd be fine for me.
DCL's face on your face,
Yeah.
and then just never leave the house, just stand there looking at yourself.
Yeah, just be like, you're fit, aren't you? So be sad.
Matt?
Are we talking like a face-off situation where you look exactly like them?
That's
or is
what I
it
was
just
thinking.
a really crude photograph of them on top of your skin?
Maybe it'd be like a really shit tattoo of someone else's face, but you think it looks amazing, like dead realistic.
Right. Warren.
Oh,
Because Warren's going to have someone else's face on his face. So I can nick his face because he's not using it no more.
Yeah, we need a Warren. That's a good shout. Who you having, Warren?
oh, well, I've got to go Matt, haven't I? I mean, if he's not using his face because he's using mine, I've got to go with Matt.
Just doing face off now.
Just do face swaps, yeah. Who would I have? I'll tell you what, like someone who's like on a banknote, but not from here, from like a foreign country, like one of the other countries. Someone who's on like George Washington or something, because like you'd always be on a banknote then, so you'd always see your face somewhere. I mean, not that you'd want to always see your face, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at.
Are you thinking people are going to be getting banknotes up and going? It's him. It's him.
Yeah, saw him in the Denby the other week. What's he doing on me
Sign
banknote?
this, mate.
Don't need to sign in them already, on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shout. Maggie's quickfire round.
Oh, missed it. She did say, I noticed this. She thought that we didn't answer the quickfire round last week, and we
Did we do it first?
definitely did. Yeah, we did when we left the breakfast question till the last. Remember?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
So we definitely did do it. Yeah.
I'm very happy with the results of that. Right, I will go from left, anti-clockwise on my screen. Warren, hot wok or Goodison Supper Bar, and what's your order?
Goodison Supper Bar, salt and pepper chips, and curry sauce.
No, Charlotte?
Hot wok, crispy chili beef and plain noodles.
Good shout again. Matt?
I've got the same answer for all of these quick fires, and the answer is no.
No.
Or neither. Neither. Mine was always Sue's on County Road, but I think it's changed the name now. But it was always just very simple chips and ketchup, maybe a sausage. I don't want to be putting some like I do eat all that other stuff like crispy chili beef, but just before a match after a load of ale, I always think it's a little bit. You might get half time, be a bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I had ballast.
I had salt and pepper chips and curry sauce before a game, and I was so dry by half time. I was like that withered man meme Oh, it was dreadful. Mine to Chong King on County Road, chips and curry every time. Or chips and gravy with a pie on top, because I don't want to mix my pie with the gravy because it gets messy to eat. So there you go. I know. Just a little glimpse into my mind there.
It's called Yu Hing now, by the way. It used to be called Sue's, now it's Yu Hing.
Whereabouts that? How far down?
It is.
So pick Subway as your middle point. What side?
Yeah,
of Subway?
I was literally thinking that. It is. Where's the Subway? Where is the Subway?
Are we towards the Party Pad or the Black Horse?
It's literally over the road from where Sayers used to be, but I think Sayers shut down, didn't it?
Oh, that's further down then, yeah.
Yeah, it was devastating that when Sayers shut down.
Yeah. Basically, if you go over the road, straight up the road, you go to the Spello.
Right. Sound. Might give that a try. Brick or wins though, Warren?
Brick.
Charlotte?
Right.
Matt?
No, Denby.
Yeah, that's probably my answer as well. Oh, here's one. I have no idea. 20 or 21 bus into town, Warren?
21.
No is an option.
21.
Charlotte?
Well, I just a no on that one. I get the 61 to mine from Goodison, so.
Matt?
No. I'm never getting on a bus into town from the match ever again after what Matt Jones did to me in the Viras.
Wasn't that on like the hottest day of the year?
It was like 30 degrees C, yeah. And they got stuck in roadworks. We were on it for about 45 minutes.
Oh, grim.
Last time I had got a bus back from the match, I had a fight with a Boreham Wood fan, and I said, go to County Road so you can get knifed.
There's the title of the show.
You know, a little personal battle of Everton Valley there. You were some Tory, what are they, Unibond League fan?
There you go. I might just call a pod, get to County Road. That'll do. We all know what it means. Mine's a 437 from not far from my house into town, but I wouldn't do it because it takes too long. I mean,
these numbers that she said, are they from Goodison? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I think no, they do. They're the town buses from Goodison, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Like Matt, you cannot answer no to this one. Whittle or Widnes?
No, Warrington. No, obviously it's got to be Whittle. It's got to be.
I'm long all day, Charlotte.
I'll go Wirral, but I want to say no as well.
You're all weird, you lot. Warren?
I mean, it's like asking, do you want to stand on a plug or do you want to bang your head against the stairs? I mean,
read the room here, lad.
I mean, I know it should be quick fire and that, but I've just not got really good memories of either, to be honest.
All right,
Whittle.
Give me a bad memory from the Oblong. What's happened to you over there? Come on. Have you not been to any of the nice pubs or the great beaches?
Whittle then, go on to satisfy you. Why not?
Whittle tourist board here.
Yeah, you're right, I'm telling you. I've promised Dan actually when he comes up, we're doing a half man, half biscuit tour, so everyone's welcome to join in on that. It will be good.
Can we go on a back walk?
I can't that say, Les.
Go to Boyden Park, definitely. Yeah.
I can't that say, I'm in Widnes.
Wouldn't invite you anyway, didn't we? Maggie's next question. It's Everton's historical fact that Dominic Calvert-Lewin used to go to Tom Davis's mum's house for his tea. That's lovely. Which Everton player's mum would you most want to cook your tea, and what would that tea be? Charlotte? Tom Davis's mum with Tom and Dom.
Well, that would be great. So, because Tom's mum, he's a veggie, isn't he? I'm sure his mum makes a boss vegetarian scouse, he was saying on one of those interview things. So I'll give that a little go. If Dom's going as well, though.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of the foreign players might. I don't know. No, I'm going to stick with Tom.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Warren?
I said I'd spend the weekend with him last week, and I'm going to go to his ma's house for tea. I'm going to go to Nathan Patterson's house up in Glasgow, because I reckon up there especially his ma's going to make the best scran on a Friday night for me visiting especially. So not only are we having the weekend together, me and Pats, we're having our tea together as well. So
what a weekend that's going to be. This has to happen, by the way.
If we keep mentioning it every week, if we keep having a question around it every week, somewhere, somehow, Nathan Patterson will listen to it and I'll get invited to his house up in Glasgow. So we've got to keep doing it every week somehow.
Do you know what this needs? This needs him tagging in with our verified status on the Blue Room.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of time on his hands at the moment. So
yeah.
Yeah. What else is he gonna do?
I mean, you know, a 30-something-year-old fella with a 20-year-old lad. Bit weird, but we'll make it work, you know. Somehow.
I'm 45 and I'm not about to use that, so you know. That's not weird, or it's not to me anyway.
Well, that's the target for this season now. We need to make that happen.
Right. Like like some sort of Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah. I'm not dying now.
I mean, we could pretend if you want. You know, got no scruples on this matter.
To be honest, it's a bit more like Jim will fix it than Make-A-Wish, isn't it? Turn off with like a medal, put it around his neck.
Who are you going with, Matt?
Mason Holgate.
Wow.
Roast dinner, because he's from Doncaster, so it will be a cracking roast dinner.
Belty Yorkshire pudding.
Yes.
Good shout. Last one from Maggie. Oh no, two from Maggie. If you were able to play hide and seek in IKEA, where would you hide to make sure you won? Now IKEA is somewhere I go in and I just can't find my way out after that. It's like proper existential crisis stuff going on. Matt, I see the big over to Warrington, clearly.
Yeah, and IKEA. Everything you can see, well, the one shelf you can see behind me is IKEA, but everything I own is IKEA. When I bought this place, I just did a mad supermarket speed trolley dash at IKEA, just got everything. You need to know where the hidden doors are. You can get from the front to the back of IKEA in Warrington in about 30 seconds flat if you know where the hidden doors are.
See, of course it's got hidden doors. That place would have to have hidden doors because it's fucking mental.
Yeah. So if you know where they are, you don't have to hide. You just keep moving.
Okay. That's a shout. Where'd you get this insider info? Just found them.
I think I just saw like a staff member going through it, and then I just looked at the walls as I went through. It's like, oh yeah, and you can just go straight through. So if you just want something at the like at the very back section or something, you can just go rather than go through all the fucking kitchens and everything like that.
So you don't need a pass.
No, it's just literally a door, but no, it hasn't even got handles on it. It just swing open, but it's like sort of into the wall, so it's got no handles or markings. You just have to push through it.
You really should signpost them better, so I don't end up at lighting every frigging 5 minutes trying to get out. Terrible. Charlotte, what are you?
Well, I feel like Matt's answer is the correct answer, but if we're not going to copy, then I'd go underneath all the toys that they've got, so no, like just sit in them.
That'd be fun anyway.
Yeah. So. Unless the kids like then start like jumping on you or something, or be a bit creepy, and me popping my head out, and the 5-year-old next to me.
Full on child catcher vibes.
Yeah.
Plus, if there's loads of kids jumping around, it might smell of piss like a ball pond.
Mm.
Which wouldn't be good. I didn't realise for years what that smell was. And then it was sort of brought to my attention, yeah, that's the smell of piss. It's like, oh my God, it is as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, horrific. One of the worst things about being a parent are actually the soft play nightmare. Absolutely dreadful. So anyway, Warren, so I was just getting flashbacks then. Where are you hiding in IKEA?
Well, as a former hide and seek champion of B&Q, I have to revert back to the...
You can't just...
I'm well, it's a similar sort of shop. So what I'm saying is...
Oh, sorry, okay. I thought this was a thing. I don't know what you get up to down there.
The front door, me going out like that. Boo! Hi kids. The front door.
Hi Nathan.
Reveals big Nathan Patterson.
Got posters all around my room. The front door section in B&Q was always a good one for hiding. So if I was in IKEA, I would aim for. I know Matt sort of alluded to that. Aim for the door sections, because you open the doors, not all the time you can open, and you're just standing there, and they are brilliant to hide in. So failing that, the fridge and fridge freezer cooker sections are good because they're obviously big, easy to maneuver around, not easy to find. The worst place to hide would be anything to do with lighting or light sections with all the glass, because one bad move and you've knackered the place. So I haven't thought about this a lot though, honestly.
Not at all. No. You
got them like setups, haven't you, where like they got a full bedroom, with like a wardrobe and everything. So you got quite a lot of options there.
Yeah, good options.
Maybe we should do this one day when the Toffees aren't playing. We'll all just go to Warrington, have a game of hide and seek.
One international weekend, yeah.
Got to be better than watching international footy. And last one, I think I know where this one's going. Thoughts on kids with "Can I have your shirt" signs in the ground? Why the best course of action is to set the Goodison cat on them? Thoughts on kids doing that, begging for shirts?
Ajax have banned it, haven't they? So I reckon we should be the first English club to do that. It is glorified begging, isn't it? And it's I think it's pressure on the players as well, because it's like, you want, like, a lot, ours are good, aren't they, at the end of games, coming over and giving the travelling support like a shirt and whatever, and that's fine, because you sort of you're giving a little nod then to say, well, thanks for the travelling and all that, but it shouldn't be like forced upon them to have to give it to a certain specific person. If they want to do it, it should be natural and organic. So yeah, ban it.
Yeah, I think 90% of the time as well, it's definitely not the kids who've made the signs.
Yeah,
it's the parents who've made the sign to make it look like the kids have made it.
Although if you do see me with a Nathan Patterson sign, give me your shirt, then that's allowed.
Charlotte, are you any relation to Nathan Patterson, by the way?
Well, I've got Scottish descendants. You never know.
There you go.
Never know, but I think he's fit, so I don't want to be related. So,
oh god, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, that would be really awkward. So we'll go with no.
As soon as you saw each other, do you think they'd be like, "Oh god, no"? We'd be like, oh, "No, can't."
Absolutely not. Sorry.
What do you reckon on kids with begging signs?
To be honest, I couldn't give a shit either way. It doesn't offend me. So, and it doesn't, like, if the kids want it, fuck it. But it is annoying sometimes because I want the shirts.
Maybe make a sign.
Sniff them.
Yeah, well, exactly, to sniff them. No, I'll make a sign next time, and I'll just take a little kid with me and give it to them, and then be like, "Give me it back now."
There you go. I was going to say you can borrow one of mine, but they're probably too big.
I've got Duncan Ferguson shirt from '95 Cup final.
Decent.
But it's signed, and my brother said he was going to give me. He's in his house, so I need to go and get it back.
You definitely do. It'll be up on his wall, won't it? Definitely.
Yeah, oh, definitely. He was like, "I'm going to put it in a frame for you," and that was a year ago.
Not seeing it since.
No.
Definitely up in one.
The actual one.
Yeah.
Match one. Jesus Christ, that must be worth about
10,000 days old.
Grand, yeah.
At least.
It smells like 10,000 days old as well.
Matt, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, begging signs is a good name for it, even though I wouldn't want to stigmatize begging, but you do wonder how many of those shirts are ended up on eBay. That's the thing about it. Like, I mean, you think the players have a bit of nous about them, they can see like a really, really shitty signs, like that's clearly made by a kid. But when it's like a full massive cardboard thing with like 50 different colors, looks like it was made at the print, it's like, come on. It's like, I don't know. I mean, there could be some creative system that the club could work out whereby, the players clock them and then say, right, season ticket number or whatever, or that seat, get it sent to them in a frame or something like that. And they can actually track it to see if anyone is touting it. But yeah, overall, it has got a bit out of hand, hasn't it? It's now, I think at the end of the Southampton game there, you saw them walking over and there was about 8 of them. Curiously enough, though, there's like 8 of them all with different players. So it's like, are they coordinating? Is there like a little cabal of kids who are getting together and saying, right, you do Coleman, you Pickford, because you're the only one who's got goalie gloves. You do Michalenko because you look a bit Ukrainian.
I reckon you've cracked it. This is the new Mind Your Car. There's absolutely no money in minding anyone's car, but there's loads of money in getting a player shirt. That's what the ninjas are doing now. Yeah. Cracked it. Look at that.
I've completely turned on the idea. I like it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Mind Your Car before Man United if you're up, Warren.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Kids don't do it now, so it's great. Alex has asked.
Have you seen recently? It was in the Echo yesterday. The council had to release 3 internal reports because they were doing Mind Your Car for years.
The council were?
The money. Yeah.
Jesus.
They were saying the money was going to good causes, but there was like 50 grand left in the account when they stopped doing it.
50 grand?
And it's just sat there now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't expect that of the council, would you? Right. That's outrageous.
I just love how Tim Pot this fucking city is
Oh,
sometimes.
Joe Anderson's kids running around, mind your car. Maybe, possibly, allegedly. I don't know. No one watches this.
It wasn't so much kids as actual fully grown fucking counsellors. But
Christ, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm definitely doing it on Sunday then. Alex has asked, if you signed for Everton, what would be your initiation song? Warren. I tell you what, we'll tie this in with the one about the final song of Goodison as well, because that was a belter question.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, well, come back to me.
It could be a karaoke song, to be honest. It's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Well, I said last week, didn't I? Number one when I was born was Berlin, Take My Breath Away. So I'd have to do that.
That's the one.
Yeah, do that one.
Delta. Charlotte?
Well, my karaoke song is Oops, I Did Again by Britney Spears, and I've got my own dance routine, so I'll have to go with that one, won't I?
Denby Disco.
Yeah, I'll give it a little go. Show off me moves.
Any trouser split and roly polies involved?
Most probably. Absolutely. It has to happen, doesn't it? At the end.
100%. Matt?
It's not my karaoke song by any means, but I think in a situation like that where you got a room full of new teammates, the main thing is to get them all on side and really fucking freak them out. So I'd go for something like God's Away on Business by Tom Waits. Just really fuck them up and they'd be like, oh God, this fella's not right. And then obviously you're gonna get picked for every game because, like, well, if he's that fucking mental, then he must be a good player.
Not want to upset him. That's a shout. Final song of Goodison, then we'll go with that as well. Matt, I'll come back to you on this one. I think you said it before in the group.
Yeah. So this wasn't actually a question given to us. Mark Mordecai just put it out there on Twitter, and I thought it'd be a good thing to actually consider.
He blocked me on Twitter because I disagreed with him about David Moyes one time, which I thought was quite petty.
He's a very angry man. I've been to a match with him, but he's a true blue, as they all come. I've always said, and like me and Chris Smith have got like a little sort of jokey campaign going on to get Bruce Springsteen to play Goodison Park at the end and Bramley Moor at the start. And part of that is because when the Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands in New Jersey got torn down, not long ago, actually, I think it's about 10 years or so, he had like the World Cup there in 94 and that. He did a series of concerts there about, it's something like 11 or 12 days on the run. And it was the last thing, the day after he finished, the Bulldozers came in and he wrote a song for it called Wrecking Ball. And I think that would be absolutely perfect. Like if you look it up on Spotify and look at the lyrics, it is the perfect song for like tearing down a historic stadium. Like all the ghosts are here tonight, you know, where Giants played the game. I mean, Christ, we call them Everton Giants, don't we? I think that would be the absolute perfect song. But then I've seen other suggestions like In My Life by the Beatles, which is just kill everyone off.
Yeah.
I don't think we can go too morbid with it because it's we're not going to have like a West Ham situation where we've got, you know, 50 legends on the pitch. And when I say legends, I mean fellas who got more than 10 appearances for the club. And
if you don't have tattoos on the pitch, you don't want to know
that. Yeah, well, exactly. What would be the Merseyside equivalent of that? The Delta? Some kids say Magic Car.
Scooter. Lucky scooter.
Yeah, voice scooters, yeah. Yeah. But I don't think we're going to do like a big show like that because we think a lot of ourselves, but we're not like ostentatious, are we?
If we did that, we'd have Scout Springsteen live from the Royal Court or something, from one of those mad Scouts plays we do there. Scout Springsteen from Brick Up the Mersey or something. And it'd be absolutely
awesome. God.
Yeah. I mean, no, go on, Matt, sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, I could talk off the top of my head about this for about half an hour because it's something that I just, you know, in quiet moments, you just sort of ponder it and think, what's it going to be like? I mean, I've got a staged plan. Like a few games before, I'm going to spec up my entire block. I'm going to look at the seats and everything. I'm going to bring like calipers, measure the fixings. And then my dad's going to bring like a cordless drill with like a socket on it so we can get the seats off. Like we are fully prepared for this.
That's what I'm thinking. Start unscrewing your seats with about 7 or 8 games left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if the club haven't already thought about some way you can get your seat or buy your seat or whatever. I'd be very surprised. But no, but if they turn around and they went, you know what, you can buy your seat and all the proceeds go to Everton in the community or something, and it's your seat.
That would be cynical as fuck, actually. I think. I've been buying my seat for 15 years. I'm taking it with me.
I get that. Yeah, obviously, but I'd be surprised if they haven't thought of something, because they've got to. People will want the seats, won't they? People will want a bit of everything out that ground. People will be taking toilet signs and panels off the toilets.
It's one of them, though, isn't it? Where you've got your seat and you're like, yes, I've got my seat. You're like, what the fuck am I doing with this now?
People will be wanting to take a bit of the pitch and like.
It'll save money on demolition.
Yeah. People will be taking all sorts
left by the end of that game.
No.
All they'll have to do is just put a tape around it and say, right, okay, it's a Bramfield site now.
Yeah.
The ground will be gone.
Any more on last songs of Goodison?
You need to do something that people know the lyrics to, don't they? Because Everton people aren't the greatest, are they? Still don't know the second verse of Spirit of the Blues after singing it the whole season.
Yeah, just imagine the park end muddling through some song we've got no idea of. And just
we're on for the Blues.
Just the fault of booing the fuck out of the final 5 minutes of Goodison. Yeah, I'm going with Elton John for that one, because it's me sort of first Everton memory.
Yeah. Coach Steve on the pitch with a microphone singing it.
Yeah.
I think Elton John is just, I think unless he is something more convincing than that, I think it's got to be that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Or it could be the Scouse national anthem, which is the original version of it altogether now.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be good. That would be good, actually.
Or that might be good when we're finally filing out.
Yeah. It's going to be horrible, isn't it?
I just don't want to think about it. Yeah.
No, I don't want to think about it either. Yeah. Joe's asked, because he's been playing the new FIFA this week and Everton is shite in it, not to mention Anthony Gordon still looks like an alien, that Anthony Gordon likeness in FIFA is dreadful, if anyone's seen it. What's the most disappointing video game you've ever played, or movie, if you're not a nerd? Matt?
Ooh, come back to me.
All right. Anyone? Charlotte?
No. Worms, probably.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It looks a lot better than it actually is, doesn't it?
Yeah, and my dad actually was in charge of the people who made that game as well, so he's also disappointed me.
Oh no, was that made in Liverpool then?
What?
Was that made in Liverpool? Because the big
Manchester.
Oh, okay. Because the big gaming industry in Liverpool, wasn't it? Still is there?
Yeah, well, I don't think it is anymore, because my dad used to work for Ocean, which did that one, and that's where he met John Woods actually, because he used to be his boss, and they did Worms together there. So blame John as well.
Yeah, I had high hopes that it'd be a lot like Lemmings, but it wasn't really working. Ocean was a great label though.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad until they sold it to the French.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, and then they changed it to Infogram.
Oh God, yeah, of course. Yeah, because basically Ocean used to make loads of games in the mid 80s and the late 80s that I used to play on me like really crappy computer, me specky. And then was it Sognosis or who did Ocean become?
Infogram. And
there was another one in Liverpool, I think, called Signosis, and I remember they both made games for the Amiga, I think, and the Atari ST. That's how I remember it anyway. I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, I've nerded enough there. Warren, anything on this?
I've always been disappointed in the installments since Championship Manager or Football Manager. I just think they're too complicated now. You just want to have a bit of fun on them, and I've not enjoyed Football Manager games since the early 2000s. And also, do you remember the Getaway? Do you remember that game?
No.
London, basically GTA, but based in London, and it was.
Was it the add-on to GTA?
No, it was its own.
GTA London.
It was its own franchise, so it was. You could drive. It was actual London. You could drive around, like the whole map and everything was. It was like driving around London. And the first game did really, really well. The second one come out, and you were going to be, it's going to be incredible. And it was just flat, just went really flat. But the first game was brilliant for its time, at the time as well. Really good. I know any Simpsons game that's been on, they've always been disappointing. There's never been.
No.
But the Road Rage was amazing, that one.
Simpsons Hit and Run was absolutely one of the best games ever made.
I think they've always been disappointing, the Simpsons games.
The Simpsons arcade one was good as well. It was like
the arcade one. I'll give you that.
Like every other arcade game where you just went sideways and hit things.
Yeah, now that the Turtles one of that was good as well. But I think every Simpsons console-based game has been massively disappointing. They've never cracked it for me.
Getting a lot of head shaking here, mate.
I know. Matt doesn't want my face tattooed on him anymore.
No, I disagree. Just going back there, you mentioned John Woods. I saw him pulling up in his car at Carlisle in the Cup years ago, and he drove this like dead old. I mean, like you're talking early 90s, not even a classic car, just a beat up car, a Jag, and the reg plate was in binary. That's how much of a massive nerd he is. But yeah, there is still a games industry in Liverpool. Sony have got a big office on Old Hall Street.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's got like the PlayStation logo on the front. Yeah, it's massive. I've never really been disappointed by a computer game because if I commit to buying one, I've gone through like a very long process. I think the only ones I've ever played and gone, this is shit, is FIFA.
Yeah.
Because it seems year on year they'll just fuck with the engine, and like for example, I think 22 playing with my nephew, you can't defend crosses and corners on it at all. It's just designed so the ball comes in, a 4-foot player just heads it in. Yeah, it's just they mess with the engine far too much. In terms of films, and I think I said this over a year ago now, Mailbag. Sin City 2 is one of the most spectacularly bad films I've ever seen. Like I was crying my eyes out laughing at it. It was that bad. And
Really?
There's a scene of Josh Brolin sat in a bar talking to whoever it is. Is it Eva Green? Might be Eva Green. And you can see like someone else is talking and you can see him just getting angrier and angrier. But the scene doesn't call for it. He's just so furious that he's in this film and he's having to act in this like ridiculously dialogue scene, and he's just there, like you can just see him just like, but like there's no context within the scene for him to be angry, but you can see him just fucking fuming, like what am I doing here? And then you can just see his brain just go, oh yeah, it's the money, yeah, it's the money. But yeah, it's honestly one of the worst films ever made. It is spectacularly bad. I would recommend watching it just to have a laugh.
That's a shame because Sin City's that good.
Yeah, Sin City 1 was like, I mean, it's all right. It's a bit problematic now. It's quite, tech bro outright in hindsight. Okay. It's probably like the favorite film of everyone who goes to a Jordan Peterson show. But at the time, like it was quite an impressive piece of filmmaking.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, for the record, I've not revisited it since the first time I watched it. So, not a big Jordan Peterson fan either. Someone else who's not a big Jordan Peterson fan is TWS, maybe. Now he's a fully paid up member of the Mailbag crew. He's asked, Richard Wright once got injured falling out of his loft, and again in a warm-up, falling over a sign in a goal mouth, saying not to warm up there. What a player. What are your most embarrassing injuries, Warren?
Embarrassing injuries. So I'm not that injured. I haven't really had that many serious injuries injuries that I can think of where I've gone, shouldn't have done that. Let me have a little think. Come back to me. Let me have a little think.
For me is I once did me back in changing gear in my car. And like, so there you go. There's your bar right there.
Was that recently, Leslie?
It wasn't. It was, thankfully it was about 7 or 8 years ago. But yeah, I was just like pulling up so light, put it into second, and just went completely awful. Not get old. I would not recommend it. Charlotte, anything?
Well, all my injuries are due to being drunk. So I broke my ribs at Christmas from doing a roly-poly.
Everything's roly-poly induced, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I cracked my head open at Christmas as well once because I was just walking and then I tripped up over my own feet and then just went into the tarmac with my forehead. So, Jesus. And then obviously I can't do anything now because my knee, because I did that roly-poly and then trying to be a ballerina. So roly-polies have a lot to answer for, to be honest with you.
It's so entertaining. So never stop.
I mean, they split me kecks or break me knee. One of them, innit?
There you go. Maybe both at the same time if you're lucky.
Yeah, who knows?
Matt?
Well, the obvious one for me is when I destroyed my ankle on the way back from the ship of Malta, where me and Diasha and Keith had Erdinger night, as it's now known, when we shared about at least 30 Erdingers between us, and they wouldn't serve us food because they had one bowlless Gauss left. And he said, you can't share it. It's only like one meal per person. We were like, that makes no sense. We need some food. So we just had crisps, but it didn't really fill the hole enough. And on the way back, I managed to turn over my ankle and completely shatter it. And I had to walk with a cane at the office Christmas do, which was in January for some reason. But other than that, probably for the viewers who, is this going on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one is it? Is it that eye or that eye? One of my eyes, you probably can't even see it because of the light, but I've got a scar above my eye, and you can't see it really on the camera. That's where I lost the fight with a Fiat Punto.
I don't believe you lost a fight with a Punto. You leather a Punto.
The tailgate was up, and I just turned away for a second, and as I turned back, I just walked straight into it, and it was like the cleanest cut. And I just got some tape out the first day thing, and just like, the 2 strips over it. But it's settled now. It's scarred with just the perfect line right above my eye, under my eyebrow. And so many people who work and stuff will go, "You got a bit of pen in your face there." I mean, no, it's not pen. It's not. But it does, And also my eye droops a little bit, like that one for some reason.
Anyone listening to the podcast would recommend watch this on YouTube.
It's a very visual description. Yeah, the eye droops slightly a bit Tom York, but yeah. Don't even watch the YouTube. You can't even see it because the light isn't good enough. But
no, do watch the YouTube. Definitely watch the YouTube.
Oh yeah, do watch the YouTube. Yeah. You want to see our lovely faces, but
exactly.
Do that.
Something very funny about you just going right up to the camera.
You can just about make it out, can't you?
I think I can see it. Yeah. The shiny heads going towards the camera. Warren, have you got an injury for us yet?
I did have the Richarlison scar when we played Southampton a few years ago when he scored when Silva was in charge, and I had when you're jumping in front of the seats and your shin rubs against the seats, and I had a little cut and that was bleeding for a little bit. I still got a little bit of a remnant of a scar there as well on my leg. But do you remember when I always think of football related fan injuries? Do you remember when the first Martinez season at West Ham? And it was around the time when every other tweet to Alan Myers was about limbs and how good limbs were and how good the Everton limbs was. And some lad just replied to Alan Myers going, celebrated the first goal too much and was in A&E for 4 hours and he broke his arm celebrating the goals. I just remembered that that's the only thing but as I say, I haven't really had that many injuries, but yeah, that's the Richarlison scars on my leg from that game.
Everyone's got a Plazzy seat scar on.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that West Ham game, like the centre forward literally knocked himself out winning that game. So
yeah,
he did.
It was a very injury game.
Yeah.
In fact, that's probably a good addendum question, isn't it? Like best footy away end injury.
Yeah,
it's been a few. I've seen a few people get really like celebrating goals. Like my mate Kev, he will whenever we used to get like 4 tickets together in the away end, everyone would be like, "Oh no, I'm next to Kev. Shit, if we score here," he just grabs you and shakes you violently because he's that happy. I was next to him when Man United when Oviedo scored, and I didn't come up for about 5 minutes for there, so that was an interesting celebration.
Did you see the video of that?
I've still got a scar on my shin from Burnley away a few years ago. We didn't even win the game. Burnley away. Like, have you been away in the Burnley? They got these weird plastic molded seats, but they're really sharp at the back as you lean forward. And I think we drew 1-1 or something, or maybe lost 2-1. But when we went 1-0 up, like just to push forward, and that just banged me shin on it. It wasn't really that bad, a little bit of blood, but the scar's still there now. It's just one of those ones that lingers. And also, Crystal Palace last season, someone did chin me right under the eye, so I ended up with like a little bit of a shiner for a couple of days.
And I think the pace then, hasn't it?
I think I sort of went down like that, and like they sort of turned with the elbow. It might have been Keith actually. It might have been the guy in front of me. But someone caught me with a flying elbow anyway. So he's like, "Oh, I've also split Keith's cheek open as well, celebrating the goal." Yeah, I just chinned him right on the side there like that, and he's just turned around. He's just got like trickle blood coming down. He's going, "Yes."
Would not want to be punched by you, mate, even in a friendly situation.
Friendly fire.
Couple more from TWS and then we'll wrap it up and I'll carry over. the other ones to next time, including your first question, Charlotte, unless you really want that one.
We've got first a new round, isn't it? We've got to get it in.
Oh God, you had the first corners. Oh my. Okay.
Last question. Give it the last question.
Sorry, didn't we have the first question in the Denby the other week though?
There's so many thirsty questions, Matt.
We definitely had Shag, Marry, Kill in the Denby.
No, that was 3 people. So that was the Coleman one, because I just wanted Laura to admit that she pushed Mikalenko off the thingy.
Stitched up big time there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right, when's the next? Sorry, I'm just looking at home games. If everyone could
Palace in a couple of weeks after United.
Palace, Denby Mailbag for Palace, yeah.
I'm in Dublin that weekend, but I can video and say what my first questions.
All right, we'll do that. We'll call you from the Denby.
Because I'll be pissed anyway, so I'll be sad.
See,
that's ironic because I've got JK coming from Dublin to stay with me for the Palace game.
I'm scooting over.
Sound. We'll do that then. So we'll hold on the first question. And we will finish with... Oh, no, this is a quick one. Given that it's not really 10,000 days since our last silverware, so this is a link back to the start of the show, but it is long enough. So basically, our last silverware was the Charity Shield, which wasn't 10,000.
What about the Sydney Rules Against Racism Cup?
I mean, that's the big one. You'll never win that, isn't it?
What about the Florida Cup? That's silver, isn't it?
Exactly.
What about the Brotherhood Cup against Everton of Chile?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, so many trophies that no one...
That didn't go down cup?
Yeah. You know, you can show me Champions Leagues. Not interested. Anyway, Vinny Samway's goal in the Charity Shield final. In the Charity Shield match in '95, was it a cross or a shot? It was the best goal ever scored at Wembley, by the way. But was it a cross or a shot, Matt?
That was 4.
Okay. Right, Charlotte, how old were you?
3.
3. Warren.
Les, I'm happy to tell you, I was 9.
Right, it was definitely a fucking cross, but what a shot it was. Oh, you kids. All right, we'll finish on this last one from TWS. Unless anyone's got the best Premier League Everton 11. Did anyone do that?
Neville Southall in goal. Yeah.
So that's what we normally talk. We'll carry that one over. We'll do it properly.
Leighton Baines, Dave Watson, Jaggy Elker, Tony Hibbert, Mikel Arteta, Tim Cahill.
Tony Hibbert!
Name me a better right back. Oh, Coleman, all right then, Coleman. Mikel Arteta, Barry Orn.
Naming loads of players now.
Yakubu and Joe up front. There you go.
Playing 4-2-2.
Yeah.
Down to 9 men already.
Yeah.
Fellaini
and Pienaar. There you go. Yeah.
Right. So last one then from TWS, and we'll get to Stuart, LK's, another one from George's and Charlotte's next time. So this one is Alex Ferguson haunts Old Trafford and all their managers like Banquo's ghost. Who is the Everton equivalent? So Gary Lambert replied, the Paddock. So at least the Park End isn't getting any shit, which I'm happy with. Who haunts Goodison and its managers like Alex Ferguson? It's like one of the vultures at the end of Jungle Book, which again I think is quite problematic now, isn't it? Probably wasn't at the time, to be honest. But
are they vultures?
Is it the end of Jungle Book?
I might be getting mixed up. I always thought they were like black-faced pelicans.
Either way.
I think it's something else.
There was a lot of that in those 30 cartoons, wasn't there? Really?
Oh no, I'm thinking of the last from Dumbo.
Oh, okay. Again.
Yeah, they were bad. Yeah, I think there's like a disclaimer on Disney Plus for Dumbo because they're like fully, bad.
It was fine in the 30s and 40s. Don't come on us. Apparently, I don't know. I'm not that old. What are we saying? Who's gonna haunt Goodison? Basically, this could be like the monkey's bollocks of Goodison. That's why we're perennially shit. What's the curse? The sale of Alan Ball, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
that's when it went to shit.
I mean, there's the obvious answer, which we won't go into in Mailbag, which is why we've never recovered from a certain event that happened, but we won't go into that.
But we still won a title after that. It's a good question, that. We're talking like a Babe Ruth curse, aren't we? Curse of the Bambino.
Curse of the Bambino, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's probably going to have to be someone from like one of the early war teams, because I'm right in saying
Wilson. That's what it was.
I'm right in saying we won the league each time World War broke out.
Yeah,
I'm right in saying that, aren't I?
Yeah.
So it has to be some form of like player or manager from then who just is determined to, like, because they didn't have the success, we're not allowed it either. I don't know. Maybe I'm going a bit dark with that, but that's the best I can think of. I like everyone from our past who's no longer with us anymore. So I don't want anyone haunting us.
Well, Ferguson is still alive. It's just someone who's like that.
So it hasn't got to be someone who's dead.
Don't have to be dead.
Andy Hinchcliffe then, because he's a moaning old bastard anytime he commentates on us, so it's probably him.
I think he hates everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah, just hates life.
City either, is he?
Yeah, just hates everything.
Yeah, weirdo.
You'd hate everything if it took you 45 minutes to have a shave.
Maybe Walter Smith, because he was a bit of a twat as well, I know, when he sold Duncan Ferguson. Went to shit after that too.
Didn't he get sold on him, or do you think that was just him covering his back?
I think a bit of both, wasn't it? Probably. Yeah. But if he's going to come back, like what, a season later, he probably didn't get sold, did he? As in, Ken Wright. I'm blaming Walter Smith.
Blaming Walter Smith?
Yeah.
I reckon if this... Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I reckon if there's one sliding doors moment, if there's one person who haunts us, and they're not even dead, it's Dion Dublin.
Yes. Kendall Mark.
That was the moment. That was the moment when the timelines diverged.
Yeah. That's a good shout, actually. That's a very good shout. It would have come full circle had he sent us down in '98 as well, wouldn't it? Which he very nearly did.
Oh God, yeah. He very nearly did.
Yeah. Right, well, on that maudlin bombshell,
happy weekend, everyone.
Yeah, I shouldn't have ended that on a question that, like,
finish on one more, Les.
One more. We got time for one more.
Yeah, we've got time for one more.
All right, LK.
And I'm going to endeavour to make it as depressing as possible.
There we go.
So we have to keep going and keep going and keep going.
This is a good one. LK, rank these 5 Everton players from least worst to worst. Klaus Thompson, Pembridge, Joe, Martina, Alcaraz. Klaus Thompson's worst.
What, West Ham Martina?
Give us a happy one.
Oh no, the next bit though. The next bit's good.
Okay.
Martina.
Name them again.
Cuco, Martina, Alcaraz, Joe, Pembridge, Klaus Thompson.
Like Martina for me, the worst. Then Thompson. Then Alcaraz. Then Pembridge. Then Joe.
Yes, I'm having that. Joe was
I like that one.
Yeah, that'll do for me too. Also, and we'll finish on this one. What's everyone's hungover Mackie's order?
Oh, no, that's a question to finish Mailbag off in, isn't it? Back in the day when I was meat eater, semi part-time veg, you know. But when I was a meat eater, yeah, I used to get Sundays after the match. Used to always be large fries, sweet chili chicken wrap, 6 chicken nuggets, and a double cheeseburger, and a full fat Coke. And a milk, and now and again a milkshake.
That's a hell of an order.
Yeah.
So I am now being a part-time veggie as well. I don't do McDonald's anymore. But when I did, plain McChicken sandwich meal, but no chips because I don't like chips. So I get a fruit bag, a Diet Coke, and 3 chicken selects. And a McFlurry as well. Or now go to KFC and get the fake chicken burger because that's boss.
It is nice, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
like chips.
Me? Forgot like fruit bag instead, little apple slices instead.
Tell you what to win at apple and peanut butter. By the way, no one's listening to this now. Anyway, everyone switched off ages ago. Yeah.
At least we're not on YouTube and we can see like the number of viewers ticking down.
That is the most soul-destroying thing when you look at your stats on YouTube and it's got watch time and it just goes yeet right off a cliff after about 5 minutes. Matt, go ahead and give us your Mackie's order.
If it's before the breakfast cut off, it'll be sausage egg McMuffin double, but with no egg. And Mackie's are always great about this. You can always take the egg off it, and it doesn't take any more time than otherwise. Very good about that, because I don't like egg. Hash brown and just a bottle of Tropicana, and then maybe a single sausage McMuffin as well on the side.
Yeah.
If it's after the breakfast cut off, if I'm waking up after 10:30, I'm usually in a bad way. So it's just a simple cut pan of cheese meal because I can't muster anything else. Maybe an apple pie as well. But if I'm waking up after 10:30, I'm in a bad way. So I can't be doing all of this nugget stuff and McFlurries and stuff. Like, no, it would come straight back up.
Liking the disdain you've got for that. Mine's double cheeseburger, extra gherkins, chips, and a banana milkshake. Vanilla milkshake. Sorry.
Do you know what? Sorry. You blew my mind. I never thought about asking for extra gherkins.
Yeah, extra gherkins.
I would just have a burger of gherkins if I could.
It's a winner.
And I never said that in the most wool voice possible. That's because I've spent every day this week in Warrington.
See, you should spend your day
Gherkins.
long. Much better. Yeah. Right, that's all for this week's mailbag. As I said, we'll carry over the questions for next time. Thanks to Matt, thanks to Charlotte, thanks to everyone who sent questions in. We'll catch you next time.